My name is Chris, and we'll be displaying the biomechanical concepts for open kinetic chain and closed kinetic chain movements, and I'll demonstrate some progressions and regressions of each utilizing concepts in the units we went over. I'm going to be starting with closed kinetic chain movements, which is when the limbs are stationary and the body moves around the limb. I'll be starting with an upper body closed kinetic chain movement, which would be a regular push-up. For the regular push-up, this is an example of a type 2 lever, where the toes are the fulcrum, the body is the force, biceps are the effort. I'll go ahead and demonstrate this for you right now. That's a basic push-up. One concept we can utilize to make this easier is we can shorten the length of the lever. So instead of utilizing the toes, we can utilize the knees as the fulcrum. This would be a assisted push-up. One way we can progress this movement is by increasing the force by elevating the fulcrum, by putting it on a balance ball. And this would be a decline push-up. And that's the progression. Same closed kinetic chain movement would be for the upper body, and I'll just be doing a basic squat, like so. One regression we can do is we can limit the range of motion. So instead of going into a full squat position, we can utilize just like a chair or a box and do the squat with a limited range of motion. One progression we can do is we can utilize the concept of the force velocity curve by increasing the speed of the squat. This would increase the concentric force, and it would make the effort more intense, which would make it a progression. And that's the speed squat, and that wraps up the closed kinetic chain movements. Next up, we'll be going over open kinetic chain movements, which is when the limb moves around the stationary body. An example of this would be a basic dumbbell curl, which I'll be demonstrating as my upper body exercise. That's a dumbbell curl. One regression we can do is we can alternate the force. This will leave one limb to rest while the other limb has a chance to lengthen and rest in between reps, I mean. One progression we can do is we can decrease the center of gravity by standing just on a single limb. This will force the body to balance itself out, which would make the exercise more difficult. Next up would be a lower body hip circle. I'll go ahead and demonstrate this. With the leg flat on the ground, we would elevate it to midline. We would then rotate it laterally and then back to midline and raise it back and repeat the motion. Now, some people might have limited range of motion, and we can alter the length-tension relationship as a result to modify this exercise and creating a regression. And one way we can do that is by just doing a basic partial hip rotation, where we don't over-exaggerate the movements, and that would be one regression we can do. A progression we can do is we can decrease the stability of the base with a balance ball, and we would just repeat the same movement I demonstrated with an unstable base, which makes the exercise much more difficult as the body has to balance and contract to perform the exercise in the same manner. Yeah, that's all the exercises for today. These are my references.